Tirupati Prabhu, nice to see you. Chandra Prabhu, would you be able to recite this sloka?
Prabhuji, I'm finding it very difficult to recite the slokas. In fact, I'm trying to learn to recite the slokas because like in Kenya, the way we were reciting, when I came here, I realized that, oh my God, like ours was something like very ancient.
So, Suresh Prabhu, can I request you to do this recitation of the shloka? Mute Prabhu. You're still on mute. Can you unmute? I'm not able to. I don't know what's the issue there. Sometimes this issue comes in Teams now. Are you connected or from your phone or something, Prabhu? Yes, I think this issue was there. Others are able to talk. Anyway, I will recite. So in the meantime, we'll see if Prabhu can do unmuting. Prabhu always shares nice realizations. Okay. Tadvag visargo janatagh viplavo yasmin pratishokamabadhavadyapi नामान्यनन्तस्य यशोकितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः. Okay, can someone read the word for word meaning? Oh, no. Okay, here also he is using the word. I was amazed to see Vachaha Vak, for both of them. Prabhupada is using this word vocabulary. Last week we were discussing about this word vocabulary. No? So Prabhupada is using the same word here too. Amazing. And you don't see him use this word anywhere else in any other verse. And you can try searching and see. Okay, now let's read this word for word. Who would be happy to read? Rajesh Prabhu will be able to do?
Yes, I will do that, sir. Tat, that, vak, vocabulary, visargaha, creation, janata, the people in general, agha, sins, viplavaha, revolutionary, yasmin, in which, pratishlokam, each and every stanza, abadhavati, irregularly composed, api, in spite of, namani, transcendental names, etc., anantasya, of the unlimited Lord, yashaha, glories, ankitani, depicted, yat, what, shrinvanti, do hear, gayanti, do sing, grinnanti, to accept, do accept, sadhavaha, the purified men who are honest.
Okay. So Chandra Prabhu, would you like to read the translation?
Yes, I am read. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, and pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirect civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest.
Very, very powerful. This kind of a long statement nobody can write, See, there's 4 lines actually. There is no full stop at all.
True, very true.
On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the names, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a evolution in the impious life of the soul's misdirected civilization. Actually, our Guru Maharaj made us by heart this entire line in in one class. Everybody had to repeat this, remember and repeat this without seeing the so deep this message is, and very heavy words, revolution, impious lives, misdirected civilization. This each word is so deep actually, and Prabhupada has brought out the. Actually speaking, no one else can write a translation like this other than a pure devotee like Prabhupada.
Very true.
Yes, for this verses, it's very, very difficult. Imagine someone has to see. I tried, Prabhu. Frankly speaking, I don't know Sanskrit, but with a few words we can make out. Okay, there are some very simple verses. Vidyadana dadati vinayam, something like that. There are some small verses are there, quoting Tapta Harim Bhajet, like that. But trying to form sentences, it's so difficult. You may just like that write something, but it will not bring out the real flavor or the real meaning. That's the challenge we face. And only when we see, first of all, if we read these closely, only then we can appreciate how much Prabhupada spent his time to write these word for word meanings and the translations. Because word for word meaning is one challenge there that is separate. Because which English meaning to put there for each of the Sanskrit, that is a separate challenge by itself. On top of it, combining them together and making them into an English statement, which resembles the closest meaning to that to Sanskrit thing, is so difficult, almost impossible. Only when we go back and forth between the verse and the translation, we will know how difficult it is. Even to understand how difficult it is. Forget about appreciating it. That's the next stage. Before we finish this translation now, we were getting to the translation now. Let's try to understand the verse a little bit with the word and the translation what you have read just now. We should go back and forth to enjoy this. See, tad vak means earlier he spoke about a different vak. Na yat vachas chitrapadam. That does not glorify the Lord. That's a different class, pro-class people's work. The one that comes to the other side, tadvak visargo, janata agha viplavo. Right? Janata agha. Janata agha means what is that it is written?
The people in general, and agha is sins.
Sins. So sins of the people in general. Right? So now this is Visarga. It's a beautiful this thing here. He's using the word Visarga. It's creation. Creation means only Krishna can do. What we are doing is only a what do you call reinvention of the same discovering, we can say. That's all maximum. What is already created. So Krishna's creation this is. So now just like he has created this material universe for everyone to live, same way Vyasadeva and Prabhupada has created this whole Vedic literature for us to bring us to life, bring our souls, rejuvenate our souls. That's why this vocabulary, that vocabulary, that verb, which is created, Visarga, and it is actually Janata Agha Viplava. It has to do something to the loads and loads of mountains and mountains of sins that every day we commit. For this to understand now, we have to little bit track back Prabhu's and Mataji. We have to little bit track back, trace back, I mean, to one day you take. And in a single day, how many sins one person is committing? And in his whole life, how much he is committing? And like this, how many people are there? Humans only. For animals, anyway, their sins are they're not taken into consideration anyway. But as human beings, how many sins you are committing physically and mentally? That is something which, if you introspect now,
Prabhuji, sorry, can I ask you something? When you say mentally, so basically, what do you mean by mentally? We commit sins mentally. What does that actually mean?
well, I think I hate somebody, that's a sin. I think that this person should be suffering. That's a sin. I'm envious when somebody is progressing. That's a sin.
Oh, okay.
Everything is a sin. Mentally, I'm proud. That's a sin.
Okay, I get your point, Prabhuji.
These are everything is actually originating from the mind only, in fact, and then the action happens.
True.
But Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, but actually, as a human being in Kali Yuga, if we think something bad, that is not a sin, no? Only if we commit, then only it will be sin.
That is,
you are
as
saying
long
mentally,
as,
so yeah.
No, that is as long as you don't know the truth. You got it? Is
Hare
that clear,
Krishna Prabhu, can you, just wanted to, can you elaborate little, as long as you don't know the truth means?
To go to 118.7. Rajesh Prabhu, please open another window, 118.7.
I don't know, Prabhu, is that okay to go ahead?
No, you can. This is,
Or we are
we have to
deviating?
discuss this. No deviations, no deviation. Even if you deviate, you have to come back to Krishna only. So don't worry. You take 118.7, Prabhu. If you can read the translation. Kushalani Ashu Siddhyanti Netrani Kitaniya.
Maharaj Parikshit was a realist like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of the Kali.
So this is what you were saying, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? So now you know this thing, you cannot do anything. It's not applicable to anyone. You got it or not? Still not able to.
Got it, Prabhu. Got it. Yeah, exactly.
Now you know that. Now you know that in Kali Yuga, this is the rule, right? Auspicious things produce good effect immediately, whereas inauspicious must be actually performed. Correct? Just think about. You are just thinking about auspicious thing. The effect is there. But if they are, you have to kill somebody, you have to actually go and kill them. Only then, only then the sin gets attached to you, right? But the moment you know this rule, it's not applicable to you anymore. Because you'll be back in the back of your mind when you go and do this activity. Oh, anyway, only if I kill that person, that's in my mind, I will always think of him, I will envy him, that's okay. Then it means you are knowingly doing it, then that rule is not applicable. Like in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, no, apiche suduracharo bhajate mamananyabha. Even if one has committed the most abominable sin, I consider them the sadhu. Sadhureva samantavyaha. Correct? Samyak vyavashito sada. In that Prabhupada would have written, you cannot take advantage of this sloka and commit mistakes. Then it will be doubly punished. That is why Brahmanas are given more severe punishment when they deviate. Because they are supposed to know everything. And lower thing like Sudras, Chandalas, Naishas and all, they are not given so tough this thing, because by and large they may not know the rules. If they know the rules and still come, they also will face the same problem. Does it help?
Prabhuji, sorry,
Yes,
if you read in the purport, it says the age of Kali is called fallen age. This fallen age, because the living beings are in awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given some special facilities to them. So by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is actually performed. In other words, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. So I'm just thinking, because that means in Kali Yuga, if you are thinking something wrong and you're not actually doing that, so what happens?
So Prabhu, that's what I'm saying. If you don't know this, if you are not aware of this rule and you are committing some sins, you are kind of okay, you are given some concession there. Like someone who is completely ignorant is committing something. In terms of the karma, I'm talking. I mean, karma will be like say a completely ignorant person is there, Prabhu. He is very, very angry with somebody and he wants to hit him, but he doesn't actually hit him or maybe just harm him, maybe, right? So he's only thinking in his mind, he is not harming that person physically. He may not get the effect of harming. That sin will not get attached to him. That's what this rule says, and Prabhupada also elaborates on it. But suppose somebody tells him that in Kali Yuga it is like this, and he's saying that, okay, I will take advantage of this and keep on thinking bad about everybody. I will kill everybody in my mind. I will not get any sin associated with it. If he takes, if he tries to take advantage of this and do shortcut, then he will not be given that concession. You understand that point? That's what I was trying to say. Now we are all reading this sloka. We know this rule. We cannot take advantage of this Kali Yuga's concession, because I am knowingly doing it.
True, very true. I get your point, Prabhuji.
Right. That is a danger of reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay. Yeah. So we have two questions. I think 2 hands raised. Who want to go first? Suresh Prabhu, you are able to unmute?
Yes, Prabhu. By the mercy of God.
That's good. Good. Yes, Prabhuji.
Should I speak first, Prabhu?
Please go ahead, Prabhu. Then Shiva Prabhu.
So I think the same principle is applicable to the animal body. When Jiva is animal body, whatever sins they commit, that's why they are not getting the karma for that.
Yes, they don't know. They don't know the Shastras. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. They don't know the Shastras. So they, even if some tiger kills a deer or lion kills another thing, whatever, buffalo or whatever, they will not get, because that is their food. Krishna has created them as per the nature. It's as per Jivasya Jivanam. It is one living entity has to live on the another living entity. But
and
for us,
that,
yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
And second point, that even Ajamila committed all sins without knowing this principle.
No, Prabhu. He was a Brahmana. He knew. He knew the rules and regulations. He was overcome by his sins. But all those sins were compensated or nullified by his one chanting of the Narayana name because he chanted helplessly without offense. Also, if you think that this chanting will help me say from all the sins, that will not help. That's why it's called, that is another offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. You got it right. Otherwise, he would have been thinking, yes, in his Vedic script, he read all Vedas, everything, he was following everything properly. He started this whole thing because he went to collect the logs of food for his guru's service. And that's when he saw the Shudra and Shudrani, and he got affected from there on. So he was actually, if you see, the Yamdutas are telling all the good things about Ajamila to the Vishnudutas. So he had all these things in the past, but even though he had all these things, one small sinful thing, and that's why you see, he is a very good example you brought in, because he started thinking mentally only. That lady was there in his mind all through the going back home, and then in his home he was again continuously he was thinking about it, and that thought became so intense that he turned it into action. He brought her as a maid servant initially. Then slowly, he became so attached to her, he kicked his wife, all those things started happening. So in spite of all these sins, grave sins that he has committed as a Brahmana also, still, when he chanted that one name of Narayana, that too offenselessly, in a helpless condition. I have helpless condition actually means I have no solution other than this. No recourse other than this.
Ananya.
Ananya, and I mean, there's one. This is the only thing. There's nothing. There's no other option. Like the Dundukari, no, that ghost. He was hearing Bhagavatam so intensely. Why? Because all, even Gaya, this, that, Pitrupaksha, so many things. This our Atmadeva, he did. Gokarna, sorry, Atmadeva, Gokarna, I think, yes, Gokarna, his brother. He did, but still nothing helped him. So he said, this is your last chance. Whatever it takes, just take advantage of this. Otherwise, I have no other option. Then he was so intensely hearing. Right? So, thank you, Prabhu. Very nice point you brought up. Shiva Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
similar references from that Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very gracious, but once so to square off our sins. But again, committing sins, knowing that they will save us, that's when we will get into the karma effect.
Yes. That's what Krishna will not forgive us.
Yes, there are some references also from Mahaprabhu's pastimes.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Any other thoughts before we move on? Okay, we'll move on. Okay, now the sins is such a so deep it is that only if there is a great revolution that can be brought in, these mountains and mountains of sins can be vanquished. And that is the Viplava. I think in Telugu also Viplava word is used, no? Kannada, Telugu and all.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, right.
I've seen in Bengali also they use this word Biplab. They say ba, no? So Biplab they say. Biplab means one who is a revolutionary, no? So this Bhagavatam is a revolution. That's what it is actually. Because Pati Shlokam, Yasmin, in which Pati Shlokam, each and every stanza, each and every Shlokam, even though they may be irregularly composed, even though they may be, Abhaddhavati means, Baddha means properly brought in together. Abhaddhavati means some are here, some are there. Like say, for example, in one place there will be one incarnation description, another place it will not be in a sequence. That's what it means. It's not that it is incorrect. Irregularly composed. See, There is a difference between incorrectly composed and irregularly composed. This shloka we should understand very clearly. Irregular means, say for example, in one place it will be said, like say, son of Drona punished. Then 14th chapter, our 13th chapter, Vidura will come. Then again in the third canto, up to third, fourth canto, you will see Vidura. So there will be like, if you see from a, what is that, timing perspective, we say, no, sequence, timing sequence. It may not really be in a proper sequence.
Chronology.
Chronology. It will not be in a proper chronological sequence. Right? And that is one of this thing. Or while translating, this is actually while translating, for example, from English to some other language, there may not be there will be some words for which we cannot get the exact word. They can get only the closest word possible. Prabhupada said that even from Sanskrit to English, I had to do so much to bring it as close as possible, but may not be possible to do it exactly how it is composed in the Sanskrit language. So even though they may be irregularly composed, in spite of this, but because Namani Anantasya Yasho Ankitaniya. This is again another beautiful. Yasha means glories. Ankitaniyat. Ankitani means it's selected and counted. Ankit word we always see, many of them we have this word, the people have these names, Ankit. Sankhya, Ankit. Ankit means counting and selecting. Sankhya, this is Ankit. It means chosen basically. Chosen one by one like that. So chosen, the best of the things are chosen. Ankitani is depicted. They are depicted nicely. When you depict something, no, about Krishna, you use the best words, Ganashyam, Venudhar, Venudhari, like that. You use these words, then immediately he comes to your mind. Depiction is usually you use this word for picturization, right? You use for picturization. He depicted it nicely, explaining. He brings it through words. He brings it to life, or in terms in our eyes, in front of our eyes, right? So that is how these verses are composed. And they, even though they may not be regular in a sequence or whatever, still they create such a revolution for this world's misdirected civilization. Right? One thing you will see that misdirected civilization does not come in the verse, but Prabhupada has added that. That is why Prabhupada's translation is so beautiful. It is brought in from the previous verse. These two are connected verses. So while Vyasadeva is writing this, he is writing assuming that people will know this is a connection. This is a link from the previous verse. Like say, for example, you are saying, suppose you say, Krishna went to the forest to fight with Jambavan. Then you will say, he was fighting for 17 days or 27 days. You will not again repeat the word Krishna there, correct? Why? Because you know that the person has studied read the previous statement, so he knows that Krishna is what refers to by he. Right? So that is why this, when we study Bhagavatam, we have to study taking the group of slokas to see why Prabhupada has translated, put certain things in this translation that may not be revealed directly in the verse. That's why these are called realized translations. And he is also taking it from the great personalities, great acharyas like Vishnu Chakravarti Thakurji, Goswami Sridhar Swami and all. So there is no way we can find any irregularities, but even then in the purport, Prabhupada writes so humbly. That's why I'm telling all these things. Before we get into the purport, if you understand the beauty of this translation, then our appreciation of Prabhupada will grow even more in leaps and bounds when we read the purport. See, Namani Anantasya. Krishna is Ananta and his Namas are also Ananta, his glories are also Ananta. And if it has to be depicted, how will you depict? For example, Vishwarupa, how will you depict? Normally, Vishwarupa is depicted with Krishna with so many heads. Huh? That is not the actual, I mean, that is one way, but that is not the only way to represent Krishna's Vishwarupa. If you go out and you see the whole world, the whole thing, that is also another form of Vishwarupa. You go into a big, like say Himalayas or somewhere, and you see all around 360 degrees, you'll see only sky, mountains, is everything, right? That is a form of Vishwarupa. So how will you depict it? We are trying to depict a transcendental things in through material words. So there is so many limitations are there. It's not only the limitations of the person, it's a limitation of the language also. The medium which we are using itself is limited. See, now we are using this medium of conference call, whatever this online medium. There is a limitation. We cannot see each other. Like I cannot offer prasadam and you cannot offer prasadam to me. Even though this is a satsanga, we cannot offer prasadam through this computer. Correct? And we cannot be together in one place. It looks like we are all together, but actually we are not. So there are limitations. In the same way, when a spiritual thing has to be represented through a material medium, it's so much difficulty it is. It's not so easy. That is why these books Prabhupada has written, or when somebody is giving class, it's not very difficult thing, because we are trying to capture Krishna in our own minds through our own thinking. That itself has a limitation. And after we, through whatever purity we have, when to the degree we are pure, Krishna will make us understand him in that way to the capacity we deserve. And then we have to be humble enough to speak as an instrument of Krishna. Then he will utilize it as again to reveal that understanding to the audience for the purpose that is to be served. What is that purpose? To create a revolution in this world's misdirected civilization. This whole Bhagavatam was written to create a revolution. And did it not create so far? It's going to create even more greater revolutions. Isn't it? Otherwise, how somebody who is taking drugs and intoxications and whatnot, and illicit thing and whatnot, they have taken to such a pure life, and they are preaching about others, and just by like a touch of Prabhupada, like a Chintamani, he is created so many of. Not only that, even you see, even for us also, it is such a great difference. The same people who were doing all sorts of things, we also ate on all different items. Now we can't eat anything other than prasadam. It's such a restriction. Ekadashi day we cannot take grains, and we are all traveling like anything. How Krishna is arranging? No, I am in Bangalore. I am in a hospital, and there is no way to eat prasadam. There are restricted food items, whatever. But still, Krishna is arranged. Somebody is getting prasadam, and somebody is giving prasadam on and off or whatever. And so when we engage ourselves in little bit of service, even without our extra endeavor, somehow or other Krishna is arranging these things. The only thing is you have taken a resolution that I will not take anything other than prasadam or anything that is not offered to Krishna. Then Krishna say, okay, you have taken this vow, I will help you fulfill that vow. We also take like one hour a day, I will read Bhagavatam. And Krishna will ensure that you will have the time for it. If you do it as if you sincerely desire and we endeavor for it. Right? So this is the revolution that Krishna is creating in this world. Like where we were and where we are and where we will be as we keep doing it. That is a real revolution. Otherwise, how can Gaurnita is not even for example, I'm saying Gaurnita is not even not many people know about Gaurnita even in India. But you see, Gaur Purnima is celebrated all over the world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorified all over. Gaur Purnima, Panighati, and all these festivals. You see in Mayapur, every year minimum 1,500 to 2,000 Russians come to Mayapur for Gaur Purnima. Not only 2,000, even more. I'm not wrong. This is a number from olden days. Now easily minimum 10 to 12,000 devotees come just from Russia only. Huge Harinam Sankirtans are happening all over the world. In places where things were banned, it has turned upside down. And now in all universities, Prabhupada's books are there. Great scholars are diving deep and trying to understand what has he written. And now beyond that, they are going even to other such. Prabhupada has written only to say certain so much based on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam only. He has written many small books. His primary books are Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Nectar of Devotion. Are like those books, like Nectar of Instructions. But other things like Matchless Gifts, Topmost Yoga System, or Science of Self-Realization, these are based on these main books, right? He did not touch on Mahabharata. He did not touch on, say, Garuda Purana or Vishnu Purana or whatever. But now people are getting into all these scriptures to know more about Krishna. So that is what is the revolution that Prabhupada has created, isn't it? In Corona time, you see, people, devotees always find new ways. They find newer and newer ways to engage somehow. We cannot meet each other, but doesn't matter. We connect over online or any other means, and we are happy. This is exactly how we should appreciate this particular shloka. Namani Anantasya Yesho Ankitani. Ankitani means chosen words. That's why you will see that in every place Prabhupada will be, Krishna will be addressed in different ways by the devotees. And each of those have specific meanings. And you will relish it because that particular word can be used only that in that verse. And that adding that name of the or quality and attributes of Krishna in that way, in that particular shloka, adds more beauty. That's why that depiction word is very important. You're the best way to depict something so that the others can understand. You have only 10 minutes to give a presentation to some big set of, say, some stakeholders or some business people. You will be preparing so much for that, isn't it? Isn't it, Gaurav Prabhu, when we have to give some presentation to some seniors in the organization or some client or whatever? Don't you think how many iterations we will do, how many reviews we will do, and then we have to think of how and all we have to present it so that the person in 10 minutes he can grasp it, isn't it? So that is what the sages have done, Vyasadeva had done, and Sukadeva Goswami has done. And Prabhupada has done on that, top of that. So this is the beauty. Now we have not even come to the next level. That is a translation. Now you connect this now. If you go up a little bit, now we have just touched upon a little thing. Now the other thing we have to come down to Shrinvanti, Gayanti, and Grinanti. That those three words are very important. That will come later because that's in the next line. Let's read now the translation again. I think this is one exercise we should take back home, that we should learn it by heart, this particular translation. Then we will appreciate how much Prabhupada has. In fact, after learning it by heart, Maharaj would actually make us sing it also in some tunes. How you are singing the English rhymes and all, no? Like that, he will make us sing this. Because he said Prabhupada's translations are as good as Vyasadev's verses. So we should actually sing them also the same way. So let's read this once again.
I will
Who wants to read it? Yes, Prabhu. Only the first stanza, by the way.
Means the translation, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such
So
transcendental
one minute. I told you to read that first stanza because it itself is too long to digest. Now we said
Okay.
only by revolution we can only by creating a revolution in the empire's lives of this world's misdirected civilization. The world is misdirected. Now here, on the other hand, that's how this statement itself starts, which means in the previous verse he is talking about a different kind of literature, correct? That which is Kṛṣṇa literature. Only Kṛṣṇa can appreciate it. Means there is no essence in it. Essence is all taken out. Only the waste is thrown out, and the waste it is thinking it's nectar. Correct? Now that is why it is there is no aim of creating revolution, destroying the sins, etc., etc. There is nothing. No, their only job is to sell the books and make money. That's all. Otherwise, if you have one book, if you write one book, that one book should be read again and again and again throughout the life. That is what is the meaning of the book. Otherwise, you just read and throw it away, read, throw it away. What is the use? Unless you practice the instructions in that book, what is the use of that writing? Is it only to write, read, enjoy? Many times my Guru Maharaj would give warning, strong statement would say, I don't want your Grantaraj messages to be reading material. It should be, if you write only this small 2-3 paragraphs also is fine, but it should, people should take home some message for to practice it. Otherwise, yes, it's very nice to hear Krishna's Putana story. Very nice to hear Govardhana past. What did you learn from it? There are many such pastimes in stories in Bhagavatam, which people will say, oh, no, I'm not able to get anything out of it. Today, one devotee was asking me, Prabhu, in the 9th canto, there is one story of Sudyumna turning into from man to woman and then interchangeably. What the message do I get from it? I'm not able to understand what is the lesson to take from this story. Then we discussed. I told him that, see, the lesson from this story is that you cannot act against the wishes of the Lord. How much ever you try to counteract this material thing, or this whatever is destined for you, you will end up being the same thing. Like, say, that is how it was. That originally they wanted a girl child, but then with the help of the rishi, they wanted to convert him into a man. He was there only for some days, some years. He was a man. Then he became he went to the forest, and of all the forests, he went to only one forest where Shiva and Parvati are there. Then he's converted into lady again. Not only him, all the other soldiers were also converted into lady. So when somebody is destined to get a girl child, you're trying to convert that person into man or whatever. Then destiny or the fate will convert him again into what it was originally supposed to be. So you cannot go against Krishna's wishes. This is what we should understand. Whatever Krishna accepts, whatever Krishna gives, you just accept it. Then you don't have to go through all the things. Then he had to be like 1 month woman, 1 month man, 1 month woman. Vasishtha was trying to counteract more and more and more, and the more you are trying to counteract the what is was supposed to happen, the more you are getting deeper and deeper into the material thoughts. That is the message that Brahma gives to Prithu Maharaj also when Indra steals away the horse. It's a very, very beautiful verse that is out there. Very beautiful verse. It's best for us to practice. I will show you that verse because that is I mean, though it may be a little bit different, but it's an indication of what Bhagavatam is all about. In the 4th canto, Masmin Maharaja, there's a beautiful verse. I will tell you that's the best verse spoken by Brahma in all of Bhagavatam. Just appearance. Horses. Yes. 4/19/34. Please open that. 4/19/34. This is spoken by Brahma to Prithu Maharaj. You come down to the translation. Let's directly go to the translation. Somebody want to read this? Suchandra Prabhu, you unmuted. You can read.
Yes, the purport, isn't it?
No, the translation. The 4/19/34 on the screen. No, Prabhu.
Yeah,
it's on the screen. If you're not able to
that
see
one,
on the screen.
my dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thoughts. Oh, this is so good. This is great.
So this is the message that we should connect with that story of Sudyamna. Well, for example, I'm saying. So this is how Bhagavatam is completely filled with practical lessons. We just have to extract the practical lesson, not go into screwing out some meaning which is for our own benefit, but it's for helping the people who are really affected by sins. How else we will be able to give Bhagavatam to others? It's actually, you see, actually he was, Prithu Maharaj was disturbed because he was on the right side. Indra was taking the horses away. So ideally speaking, Brahma and Vishnu should have come and stopped Indra, brought the horse and given to Prithu Maharaj and tell him, hey, he's doing it for good. Why are you taking it away? But on the other hand, Brahma says that this is what Krishna's plan is. He wants to accept your 99 yajnas as 100 yajnas. Don't worry. Just when it is stopped, you just stop it. If you keep on adding, then that's more and more. He will also drag you to materialistic thoughts. Somebody is shouting at you, you keep shouting at them, then he will drag you to his gutter. Your time will be wasted, your consciousness will be disturbed, you will give lower and lower into the materialistic thoughts. Don't be sorry. Vidura was helping so much. Dhritarashtra and his team. He was kicked out by Duryodhana, and Dhritarashtra didn't even stop Duryodhana. How much painful it will be for Vidura? Whenever he needed, he used me. Now, when he doesn't, when he's seeing that no, I will not be needed, he is kicking me out. This is a normal thought we feel now. But he didn't feel sorry at all. He just left, thank God, and now I can do my job. That means you always have a corner to love Bhagavatam and holy names. Be with Krishna. Love the time with Krishna. Then you will find every opportunity to escape the material, tabernacle, I would say. Not the duties, but the tabernacle. If you are put into a situation that you will have to become more and more materially absorbed, you just somehow or other you will try to come out of it. You do the duty as a responsibility and then you come out of it, that's a different case. But if I'm put into some material association more and more, that I'm slowly losing my interest and taste for Krishna consciousness, then we'll try to come out of it, escape it as at the earliest. You see the difference between the two? Now what we do is, we try to escape the material duties also and responsibilities also in the name of, I am getting too much materially associated. No, we cannot escape. If you have children, you have to grow them up. If you have a job, you have to continue in it. If you have family to maintain, you have to earn for that so that they don't have any anxiety. All these things, if you're studying, you should study properly. These are all, even though it may be very difficult, you have to do it. But some asat sangha is there. It takes me slowly away from my spiritual activities. Then we have to be careful. Somehow or other escape. And we should not be sorry when providential arrangement keeps us in. So this is how We connect the thing. Now let's go back to our sloka. We have to get back. So this 1511. Sometimes Bhagavatam goes. I really don't even know that. I had not an iota of an idea that I will get to this Masmin Maharaja Kritam Chindam. That's it's just came to my mind and that verse went there. Anyway, so full of transcendental words directed about bringing about a revolution in the impious lives. Impious lives because people are all running after this kachada literatures, this garbage literatures. So the more they read this thing, they are getting the sangha of those people, their thoughts, their conclusions. They will write so this thing. This is the conclusion. This is what is the right thing, and then they will sell the book, get the money, go away. We see this is how we pay money to get their sinful literatures and become sinful. If it is given free of cost, also we are not supposed to read. But what we are doing, we go purchase it to hot topic. Bill Clinton's biography, autobiography. That guy, what did he do? He committed the worst of sins. And he is selling books after he left his presidency. He accepted that yes, I did the mistake. And then he was selling this whole books, and it went into billions and billions of dollars he earned from it for committing sin and making everyone else commit sins. If anybody reads that thing, what thought they will get? They will think that I am in a big post. I can also commit mistakes. I can also commit any kind of mistakes, any kind of blunders, aparadas. I can escape like Clinton. That's what they will say. But Bhagavatam never lets anyone escape. No one in Bhagavatam who committed sins escaped punishment. You'll see that. They either repented for it and somehow or other given the mercy, or they went through some, say, another life, etc., etc., and they had to go through. You see there? Indra was punished, Brahma was punished, everybody was punished. It doesn't matter which post they were in. See that literature and see this literature. That is why that is Kṛṣṇa literature, this is Swan's literature. Now let's go to the next line.
Such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by the purified men who are thoroughly honest.
This is a beautiful word. Sadhu word, Prabhupada has translated into purified men who are thoroughly honest. Sadhu can be represented as saints, or some good people, saintly people, whatever. But Prabhupada has written beautifully, purified men who are thoroughly honest. Why twice purified men? That's good enough. Why he is saying thoroughly honest? Why thoroughly honest? Why you can't just stop with purified men?
But because Prabhuji, purified men can be also devious. Sorry,
purified men can also be
devious because
devious.
Though he's purified, but like he feels he's purified, but he can still commit sins.
Again get contaminated, you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the very good point, Prabhu. That is what, if you simply stop with purified men, it means that they are purified men, that's all. They can again get contaminated. So if you're thoroughly honest, you will accept that I'm not yet purified. I will keep on, I can definitely commit mistake. I can also fall. Like Prabhupada was asked once, no? Prabhupada, why are you always chanting? And Prabhupada said, so that I won't fall down, so that I'm always afraid I might fall down. So that's why I'm chanting always. For a person who has reached that position of pure devotee, still he is saying this. Prahlad Maharaj, even though he has seen Nrsimhadev, all the other great personalities are there. In fact, he's the chosen person to glorify and pacify the Lord. He is telling, all my senses are pulling me everywhere, and I am completely contaminated. I am a demon. Blood is going in my body. It is running in my body. I have no good qualities. He's not just telling for the sake of fake humility. He's thoroughly honest. That's why he's telling in front of everybody. To tell that is a big honesty. So in our heart also we accept that yes, I am prone to be contaminated. I am contaminated. Even if I am purified, I am prone to be contaminated. This is one way of understanding the thoroughly honest. Another way of understanding thoroughly honest here is that why they are hearing, singing and accepting this literature. Because they are saying they are seeing the potency, greatest potency of this literature, even though it may be imperfectly composed. But I don't look into the. That's why Hamsas means what? Take only the good and leave the imperfect things, right? So Hamsa literatures, Hamsa people only can appreciate Hamsa literatures. So even though there might be some little discrepancies in terms of the timing or whatever. I mean, that also is not a discrepancy. It is discrepancy to our mind. That's a spiritual thing that I told you, to depict that big thing into this small, limited language is very difficult. So they have tried their best to put it, but there is some places they may not be able to. That's how it is. But thoroughly honest people don't disregard those challenges, those limitations. Instead, they hear, they sing, and they accept it. That hearing and singing alone is not enough. Grinanti is the most important one. In other words, yes, I hear, I sing. Only when you accept it with full heart, accept it in our heart fully, then only our hearing and singing will be genuine. Otherwise, it's mechanical hearing and mechanical singing only. You understand? I'm accepting this as the whole and soul of my life. Yasmin, sorry, what is that? Yasmin Pratishlokam Abaddhavati api. It may be Abaddhavati, but it is Ankitani. So that's why I have to, it's talking about Krishna's glories, name, fame, and past. And that's all I want. Doesn't matter whatever language it may be. Is that helpful?
Very helpful.
Prabhupada will repeat this. Prabhupada will repeat this thoroughly honest 3 times in the purport. No, translation is written only once. He'll repeat it 3 times. Do you want to read that purport today, or do you want to keep it for another day, for the next session? I will leave it to you.
Next session.
Yeah, I think that's because it goes so deep. I would like you all to read it on your own in your free time, and then we will read it again so that we can all share our things together. It's already on us, so it will not we will not do justice by reading it and finishing it off today itself. But we'll leave it open for a few points for sure to share. I mean, we've always heard from you all any time, but if there is some thoughts which you would like to share.
Prabhuji, purified means a vessel just washed once, and thoroughly means whatever traces are left, those are also when washed, then we can say thoroughly.
No, thoroughly honest. Yes, thoroughly purified. That word, Prabhu, many times Prabhupada uses this word sanctified. There is a difference between cleansing and say purification or sanctification. Cleansing means I'm just cleaning that floor, and yes, floor is clean. That's all. But sanctification or purification means I'm cleaning the floor, thinking that I'm cleaning Krishna's floor, and now Krishna will be happy if the floor is clean. So connecting everything with Krishna is how it's called Pavitram. That's why Jagat Pavitram is Jagat Shuddham. He didn't Jagat Pavitram. So Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. That Pavitram word is used only for Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So any other thoughts, reflections?
As you said that Abadya Vatepi, there are some defects or faults Like Prabhupada, when initially went there, such pious, this pure knowledge, he was having that Bengali accent. Actually, normally it is not a very prolific speaker, but still
Even
that
we cannot understand. Even
it,
we, many of us, yes, Prabhu.
sometimes it happens. But still,
Mm.
see that the devotee got so much, they took interest and they got purified.
Yeah. See, because you said this, no, Prabhu. Let's just read that one line alone in the purport. If you go down, Prabhu, I just I'll tell you where we should read. It starts with we know that our honest attempt, the first paragraph itself. See, we know that there it was. We know that our honest attempt. Just Control F and do a honest Prabhu. It will show where it is. Yeah. Suresh Prabhu, would you like to read this? Because you brought that word.
Yes. We know that our honest attempt to present this great literature conveying transcendental messages for reviving the God consciousness of the people in general and re-spiritualizing the world atmosphere is fraught with the many difficulties. Yes. Yes.
Please read further, Prabhu.
Our presenting this matter in adequate language, especially a foreign language, will certainly fail, and there will be so many literary discrepancies despite our honest attempt to present it in a proper way. But we are sure that with all our faults in this connection, the seriousness of the subject matter will be taken into consideration, and the leaders of the society will still accept this due to its being an honest attempt to glorify the Almighty Lord.
That's the point, Prabhu.
Yes,
How humble is Prabhupada?
he is honest.
And how many times he's saying that it is honest attempt? Because he didn't do anything for his personal enjoyment or personal gratification. And he said, I don't have bhakti, I don't have Vedanta, but they named me Bhakti Vedanta. If at all you want to do something, just at least make the name come true. Who will say this? So Prabhupada, they just simply learn from Prabhupada. That is perfection of our life. What and all he has done. And this entire purport, you can just read it again and again and again and again and again. That itself will purify our life and make us also thoroughly honest. If you want to become thoroughly honest, this is the purport to read. This is the shloka to meditate on. At least please read a few times before we have our next session.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you very much.
These are shlokas, Prabhu. I mean, for the whole lifetime, you can just live with these shlokas. You will never feel tired. You never feel like saturated or satiated. How many times I've read this in my entire that 1 volume book? No, Prabhu. This is one page which is written loose. I mean, it's almost like coming, like my tooth. It's almost like coming. Somehow preserving. It's like most used page 1510 and 1511. These things. I've turned back and forth so many times. It's so loose actually.
Prabhuji, can I say something?
Yes, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, actually, to be very honest, like reading this verse, we've been reading it. But I think what is happening now, actually, really, this is the truth for me. I don't know about others, but I think by talking to you, You are actually really motivating us that what we should extract from the verse.
Well, it's self-reflection also, Prabhu. That's if you know, if it helps you, that's my Guru Maharaj mercy. Because I don't know how many times we read this verse, these two verses with my Guru Maharaj. How many times he has quoted? So many times he has given class on these two slokas itself. And you are so, especially this 5th and 6th chapter of Bhagavatam, we have read umpteen number of times. Even if you can't read, you will at least make us recite the shlokas and read the translation. So such most important, because these two shlokas form the foundation of the remaining entire Bhagavatam. These two chapters, and 5th and 6th chapter, the first and two. So how many ever times you read them, it's not enough.
True, Prabhuji.
Thank you for inspiring us, Prabhu. All of you are so. It's a big day. We can all say so many reasons for other things to do, but thank you for joining and inspiring us. Without sincere seekers like you all, it's very difficult. Things will not come out because it's not our endeavor. No, it's Krishna is doing this. So we are dependent on nice association and thoroughly honest devotees association.
We pray to the Lord that all impediments in your life to preach us and make your life normal to remove and make more and more such classes. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Whatever it is, Prabhu. Thank you for your prayers. But, yeah, Krishna, this is only my karma, nothing else. But we have to come out of it, and your sangha is helping me. Otherwise, I can simply sit back saying, "Oh, my, this ache is there, that ache is there, this problem is there, etc." So, thank you for that. And yeah, we can stop here if no other questions are there. Comments, no other questions, comments, reflections. We will stop here, and then Krishna willing, we will all meet the next session. And please read through the purport for 1511 a few times. Don't just read once, read it a few times. Note down your important points, which statement of Prabhupada you like very much, which phrase of Prabhupada you like very much, why you like very much. It's thoroughly honest why he is repeating so many times. So these are the things which we should help. It should help us love and relish Prabhupada's words more and more. Shiva Prabhu?
Prabhuji, I have one doubt.
Yes, Prabhu.
We've been talking about thoroughly honest and all things. So how much of ignorance is excusable or unpunishable? Is ignorance not at all ignored by Krishna, or to
No, it's like ignorance at what state, Prabhu? Like if you are genuinely you didn't have an opportunity and then you are ignorant, that is not a problem. But you have an opportunity and still you ignore. That's ignoring Krishna. So if you didn't have an opportunity and you were not able to read, it's not ignorance, it is innocence. So you were not, when you get a chance, you hold on to it very tightly, right? When the opportunity is not there for you, even you tried, that is, I mean, or if we don't know that there is something like that existing, that's okay. Krishna forgives us. But you have an opportunity. You have been told about these things, glories of Bhagavatam, chanting, association, etc., etc. Still, I want to be attracted to the material things. Then it shows that it will be a what it will affect us in a different way.
Okay, then ignorance is not ignored by him.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Guruji.
Knowingly ignoring is not correct.
But Prabhu, that is even dangerous. I know if we do chanting and reading Bhagavatam, auspicious thing, and if we are not doing it, that means this is again
we are missing out.
We are missing out
on the important opportunity, the very rare opportunity. Who knows next life what yoni will get?
Yeah.
In this life itself, will we get another time to do? Only when we get the problem, we realize this body is so dangerous, so fickle.
No. Is that not comes under ignorance, Prabhu? It's
Which
not
one?
missing the opportunity, or it's not comes under ignorance.
It does. Opportunities in front of you, you are missing it. That is ignorance. That Krishna will say, if you are not having the taste, so I will not give you another opportunity. The opportunities will not come again and again. Because Krishna says that, you don't appreciate its value, how will you take to it seriously? Only when you hanker for it, you will take to it seriously, Prabhu. Like you get ample devotee association, then you will not appreciate how rare it is. You go to some remote corner where nobody is available, then you will be hankering for devotee association or temple opportunity to go serve in the temple, go to the temple, opportunity to take prasadam. These things we will miss only when they are not available. So when it's available, we will just ignore it. Then Krishna will put us in a situation where we will not get any of those.
Prabhuji, one more doubt. You
Yes,
told ignorance is based on status. So status means Brahmana, Kshatriya,
not
status
really.
based on
That is
knowledge.
nowadays where is Varna and Ashram? Nowadays nothing.
Everybody is employed, so we are all Shudra.
Everybody is saying Lecha. So today only I was reading a very interesting statement. Like Vishwamitra cursed some of his sons to become Lecha because they were not obeying his orders. See, not obeying the orders in those days is considered as Lechas. So Prabhupada is writing the purport that Vishwamitra cursed some people to become lechas in that age, but now no need to curse anybody. Automatically, they are all lechas only.
True, well true. Oh my God.
Prabhuji, now
such a nice statement I just noted down. In the former days, the lechas were fewer, and Vishwamitra Muni cursed his sons to become lechas. But in the present age, Kali Yuga, there is no need of cursing, for people are automatically lechas.
Another thing, people are very much having enmity or against them. And actually, they are Vishwamitra's sons. Our close associates, I can say, relatives.
Yeah. So Mlecha Nihade, this thing, for Kali Avatar, it comes in the this thing, Jai Jai Devahari, Jai Jagadish Hari, I mean. In that, the last one, Kali Mlecha Nimagani. So for killing all the Mlechas, because by that time everybody will be Mlechas only. Now at least some people are there who are not yet. Let's not knowingly become lechas. Gradually we'll go down, it's a very dangerous situation. Unknowingly will go. Binda Banda Paivata. So we'll just go down unknowingly with the water from the cracked bottles.
Thank you, Prabhuji, clarified.
Thank you. Nice discussion point. Thank you, Prabhu. And thank you, Andrea Prabhu also. Okay, we'll stop here. Krishna willing, we will please just read through this purport, verse and purport again and again, few times, and then we will come back. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Anantapati Vaishnava, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramandev, Hari Hari Bol Anchakalpataru Krishna Kripasuru Vijay Padidana Pavanityo, Vaishnava Beyond Manamaka, Vaishnava Ki Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. We will connect.